Good morning, everybody. I'm with Winnipeg Economic Development. And really what our job is to make sure that when we're dealing with any company looking to expand into Canada, that we provide a soft landing. That's the most critical task that we have as an organization. It's the number one task that we have as an organization. And it's one of those things that we deem to be an important component part about dealing with different organizations and companies and creating an environment of collaboration, and I'll get a little bit more detail with respect to that. Winnipeg is in the center of North America. I think Kansas City, our good partners that we work with out of the Kansas City area, they would say they're the center, but you got to consider the north. And so we're a small province, about 1.3 million people. But about 800,000 people are congregated in the metropolitan area of Winnipeg. So subsequently, we are a very dominant center in terms of how the economy of the province goes one way or the other. We have a very interesting economy. I think it was already mentioned. It's very diverse, really driven by a handful of different industry sectors. On the one hand, that's good because what it does, that diversification does give stability in the marketplace. It gives a level of predictability. But it's also a bit of a challenge because you can't be everything to everybody. And so subsequently what we try and do is when we're looking at opportunities of collaborating with different jurisdictions internationally, in this instance Ohio or Columbus, what we really try and do is we try and target the types of companies that we have, the sectors that we're really driving our economy, and how can we match up best with different jurisdictions that have similar types of economic makeups. Diversity, stability. If you take a look at the areas that are covered in blue, those are the areas that we believe are consistent in terms of what is taking place in Ohio right now, particularly in the area of aerospace, advanced manufacturing. In the area of aerospace, we are home to GE's World Engine Test Facility for cold weather testing. What a shock. It's cold in Winnipeg, and subsequently they love bringing their engines to Winnipeg and testing them. But what's interesting is because of the fact that we've developed such a great working relationship with GE in terms of these facilities, it allows us to investigate other opportunities that we may be able to collaborate with GE as an example. In terms of advanced materials, we have Boeing Canada, which is headquartered in Winnipeg. It's the largest composite manufacturer of aircraft parts in Canada. And because of that, what we did is we established something called the Composites Innovation Center. And it has relationships with the National Composites Center here in Ohio. And subsequently, we use those as opportunities to create greater bridges, to understand what's happening in your marketplace so that when we're seeking out opportunities or working with companies from your jurisdiction, that you'll have a better feeling in terms of the opportunities and the advantages of setting up your operation in Winnipeg. So typically what we try and do is we try and look at different jurisdictions. So we did a bit of an overview in terms of what's taking place within the Ohio area. And once again, these are the areas that have been identified as critical drivers of the economy. And so subsequently what we would do is we'd basically have the opportunity to approach companies in terms of looking at Canada, and particularly Winnipeg, as a soft landing. But once again, it's all about creating the right types of connections. You can't be everything to everybody. One of the things that really drives our economy is transportation distribution. Winnipeg in the province of Manitoba was built around agriculture and transportation distribution, producing a significant amount of agricultural commodities and then getting those into market. And so what we've done is we've really reinvented ourselves to meet the 21st century global supply chain requirements. And that is really connecting with our partners to the west, in Prince Rupert, in Vancouver, in terms of being able to provide a gateway to seamlessly move products internationally and through North America. And we're home to the largest inland port in Canada. It's called Centerport Canada. It has a free trade zone. It's about 20,000 acres. Presently, it has about 240 companies that have been brought in and setting up within that particular jurisdiction. We believe it's a good opportunity, particularly for companies that are looking at manufacturing and really dealing with products that have to be shipped out to different international locations. But everything's built around collaboration. This past week at ICF Summit Intelligent Communities Forum. Everything was about collaboration. And what's interesting is that we believe our community works extremely well in bringing all the key partners together. One of the most important things that we've recognized as an economic development agency, that it's not one agency that actually creates the opportunity for a company. It really is the ability for economic development agencies to be aggregators of expertise. And so because of that, we've been able to pull all the key players around the table. So if you are interested in looking at Canada, and if it happens to be looking at Winnipeg, rest assured that we will be able to pull together all the players in the first instance to give you a clear understanding of, number one, what is the opportunity for expanding your businesses, what are the issues you need to be concerned about or be aware of. It could be taxation, it could be foreign worker permits, it could be a variety of different things. So subsequently, it's really been a mantra of our organization and really a reflection of our community, because we are a community that's somewhat isolated in the middle of North America, but really we do have a lot of strong connections internationally. It's always good when other people are saying good things about your community. And so we always like to list up some of those things that have been identified. And of course, the one at the bottom is Top Intelligent Community in 2014 and 2016. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to congratulate formally Montreal and of course Surrey for being in the top 7. I think these are very important, indicators for groups to take a look at to get a better understanding in terms of the competitive nature of our jurisdiction. But there's also one other thing, it's all about hockey, right? At the end of the day, and Montreal, Intelligent Community, that's great, but Winnipeg and Columbus gets number 1 and number 2 pick in the upcoming NHL draft. So that is critically important to us because, Stanley Cups and all that other kind of great stuff. It was a pleasure to have an opportunity to give you a quick overview with respects to Winnipeg, who we are as an organization. Here's my coordinates. It's a small group of people here today, which actually can be quite beneficial because I think we have more engaging dialogue after the presentation, and I look forward to meeting with you all. Thank you very much.